in order to achieve that. Every one of them they have opposed.
Lees-Galloway.
Mr. Speaker, I've seen more coherence in a French backline than I saw from that member's speech over there. What a rambling mess. Could he tell us what the national government has done for Waikato? No. Could he tell us about regional development from this government? No. Could he tell us about economic development from this government? No. All he could talk about was the success of other people who have done things which have got nothing to do with the national government at all. All he could do was ride on the coattails of sports people and Olympians because he has nothing positive to tell his electorate or the country. And I'd like to point out to that member, I appreciate the win by the Chiefs. I appreciated the fact that Aaron Cruden did most of the work, a good Manawatu man. You can have him as long as he keeps winning for you, and he's coming back to keep winning for us as well. Now, Mr. Speaker, I've visited Hamilton and the Waikato, and I got exactly the same message there as I get from people in the Manawatu and the Rangatiki. When I talk to small businesses in the regions, I hear two stories. One is that there is no work. There is no work out there, and businesses are struggling to stay afloat because this economy has stalled and this government has done such a pathetic job of getting the economy moving that there is no work out there for small businesses and they are struggling to keep people on. But I hear another story as well. There are some businesses out there that are starting to recover and they want to take people on. They want to employ people in the regions, but guess what? They can't find the people with the skills they need to grow their businesses. And that's why we end up with graphs like this that was in the Dominion Post on the weekend, where we've seen the top line there is the unemployment rate remaining stubbornly high. But the bottom line, the blue line, is the job vacancies. There is an increase. It goes from 2009 through to today. Job vacancies have gone up by 72%, and yet people still are not employed. And why is that? It's because this government is not investing in the skills that are required to grow the regional economies of New Zealand. So what do you think they should do, Mr. Speaker? I think they should invest in tertiary education, particularly investing in giving the skills that are required, teaching the skills that are required to grow our regional economy. Well, in my area, in the Manawatu, we've got UCOL, the Universal College of Learning. They have had their funding cut by $4.4 million. That is a 12% cut for UCOL. But it's not just us. Our friends over in Taranaki, they've had a 13% cut to their Institute of Technology. Worst of all hit is Aoraki Polytechnic down in South Canterbury. They have had a 20% cut. 1/5 of their funding has been cut, and it's the same across the regions of New Zealand because this government is not interested in investing in skills. This government is not interested in backing New Zealanders. This government is not interested in growing the economy. All they are interested in, Mr. Speaker, is roads of national significance. That is the only item on the agenda. Or maybe a cycleway, a jobless cycleway, sell a few assets and build a few roads. Mr. Speaker, that is it. I find it fascinating that this government is selling off profitable assets in order to, it says, to keep down debt, but it said today it's happy to borrow money. It's happy to borrow money to build roads of national significance. Mr. Speaker, what the government should be doing is allowing the regions to play to their strengths. So in my region in Manawatu, we want to build our capacity as a transport hub. But guess what? The Manawatu Gorge Road has been closed for nearly a year because it's not a road of national significance. They're taking away the capital connection because it lies alongside a road of national significance, so it won't get any funding. It's great. A railway that has a BCR of between 1.6 and 3.0 can't be funded at a rate of $300,000 a year, but the road next to it, which has a BCR of less than 1.2, is having millions of dollars spent on it, and they're going to borrow to put the money into that road. It's ludicrous. It's absolutely ludicrous. And the regions in Manawatu, we have the Defence Forces. Well, because of the mess that this government has made of the change program in the Defence Forces, we have lost 293 of our defence personnel from Linton and Ohakia. Again, it just doesn't seem to matter which portfolio it is, this government is overlooking the regions.
Alfred Naro.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker, I just want to acknowledge